out. My bad. How the belly goes.
It's like looking around for poor old Sean. He's already at the next postcode, unfortunately.
He's still trying to pop your fucking thing out. Sorry, mate. Complete kook. That was my bad. I'll take all blame for that kooking on the exit. Sweet. So when you're leaving from the camera step, what you want to try and think about doing is... Say that again?
Swapping legs, maybe putting my left leg on?
No. So see how at the moment the legs are in front, torso's back?
Yep.
You want to try and set up as much as you can so your torso's already on that wind line as much as you can.
Yep.
So you can swap your legs if you want and put your other foot on the actual plane. That's no problem as well. Or have that there and just really trying to lean forward. So that way when you get off, you're not pushing this direction, you're pushing that direction the same as what you would with the inside. Yep. And that way it stops when you're getting off that presentation of that.
Yep. So
your shoulders are going to be more in the wind. But you recover no problem. Legs are together, arms straight. If I'm going to be real picky, you can just tap the legs together a bit more. Yeah, tap them more and then pull that head down, it'll pop you forward. Good exercise for those inside. Side even as you hop off there. So you've kind of caught with the arms ever so slightly. So out, boom, they relax and then catch. So if you catch, then try to release that as much as possible, and that's going to allow your torso, because the torso is heavier than the legs, that's going to allow that to then sink down. So it'll be more like you're diving like a head down dive to the formation. And once you dive down, head down, you can come out of it like you would when you're doing a 270 in a swoop. So you come out and then let it plane out, and then it's going to carry you. So as you dive, really think about the feeling of this part and not trying to go and air brake, but actually carrying that speed and let that carry you forward, and you can kind of shoot really forward in the slot. So you might not necessarily be, a lot of time we get told, get out of the plane and aim where the formation is going. And once you get more experience, you can aim behind them and generate it, and then it's going to shoot you forward. Same thing, but get out and look who's in front of you. Okay, no one's there, and then I can go. Because if you don't look and then you go through and someone pops in, yeah, they might pop over and smack into you. That's what happened with Ty at Funny Farm. He dove down, and someone just wasn't quite in their slot, and bam, hit him, broke his collarbone, and snapped the other dude's leg. Of course, a good approach. Yeah, so just really thinking about those legs.
Just here, I was more just like humming there and like, do I do my transition on? You can see me looking at Shane a couple of times. Like if I pop down, I was doing a positive slot.
Yeah,
it was great, bro.
That's right. So you're popping there, but think about even bigger pops are really over exaggerate that pop. So you can see how it's popped you and then roll.
Yep.
But even if when you do it, it pops and you really feel that push forward, catch, and then let it drag you down. It's not necessarily, I'm not telling you that's the only way to do it. It's just going to get you to over exaggerate that sensation of getting that lift and then catching, so it becomes smoother. And then once you do that once or twice and really feel the over exaggeration of it, then you can make those smaller and faster. So instead of just hucking it, it's more flying.
Yep, so like pop into it and then sink.
Yeah,
rather
really rather than thinking of it,
it.
it's 1, 2, it becomes like 1 and then you're catching it. So it's really smooth. And once you kind of get that big, then you can get that smaller. It's just to try and do that small at the beginning is pretty tricky, but fucking for a quick huck on, that's really good. Cool, you probably guys felt it steeping up a bit here. There we go. Oh.
I was definitely trying to like hide my hands in the verbal there to
I can see it brought right in 1, 2. So this is going backwards. Yeah, good. So feel free to be more aggressive with that widen. I can see you widening here to come back on level. That's part of the reason why I steepen, and as you're doing it, that's where now you'll have to get that feeling for, as I said before, when you stood up here, that leaning back and fighting the urge to kind of save yourself with that hooking of the legs, because as soon as you arch like there, and see how you can almost see where the toes go from up, and they just go that slightly like shit. I need to arch back, and it's kind of like you're pushing off the wind. That in itself is what kind of takes you up even that little bit more. It's just fighting that urge to want to push. Look at that smoke coming off you. Oh. Yeah, very good, nice flying. So it's good, just don't stop once you get there, come real forward. Like even that little bit more so you're kind of up around here. I think that was towards the end. Cool, nice progress. Sweet, so when we break it off as well, as much as you can, try to stay in the orientation, see how you two on your back kind of flattened out real early.
Yeah.
So try as much as you can to stay in the pitch,
Yep.
clear the air, and then once you clear, then flatten. If you get in the habit of flattening out first and then clearing, that's where if someone say cooked it and they're off slot and they're diving the formation, all of a sudden they miss that or miss their their dither, and they flatten out. Then even if you're tracking, you make it into them. Makes a big difference later on when you're doing all the head up moving and stuff like this as well.
Yeah, okay. They're too aggressive on the.
Yeah. So you can see here how I can pretty much see my legs and where my head is.
Yeah.
Let's see, one last. Where are we? Yeah, nice, very good. For any of you on the belly, does it feel sometimes you get to this part and it feels like you can't quite come down anymore?
Sometimes, yeah, and then
It shoots off
sometimes,
like that, yeah.
and then sometimes I'll just like use my head to come. I'll be like, oh fuck, that was easy. Or extend the legs just a bit forward. I'm like, oh, it was easy.
It's weird. There's like a certain steepness that the controls change a bit as well. So
Yeah.
you'll find when it's 45 and below, you can kind of use your arms a little bit more to go and kind of play with the range, and by taking away. But when it gets that a little bit steeper, you move your arms away and it just speeds you up more. So you kind of have to like really lead with that chest, and the leading with the chest helps on the lower angles, I guess, as well as the higher angles.
Is that because there's more air going over your back as well?
Yeah, because it makes it more hitting with the wind on the belly and the back kind of equally, not as much equally, but yeah, that's essentially like the wind where the wind is going over the back. That's why the same with the wind on your back, you want to feel that little bit of wind on the belly, but all your guys' back positions are pretty sweet. It's good. You just have to get used to those arms to fly a bit wider. It can be tricky, hey, that's why I don't like saying there's a perfect position. You're all different shapes and sizes, so you're all going to fly different. You'll just find that the main thing that does make a difference is that speed is the same for everyone, wider and narrower, and that's what's going to make you change. That's the speed of moving this direction as much as you can. In the beginning, you'll find you're going to steer the controls for belly and back by changing from shapes like this or this, but as much as you can over time, start trying to be more straighter. And then if you're going to go flatter rather than doing this or this to go flatter and steeper, it's going to be more leaning forward and leaning back and really thinking about that leading edge, which is this, and where that is, and letting the wind spill off and hit the body in a way that it's going to push it in the direction you want. It's the same for the feet, for head up. If you're flying head up, a lot of the time people will push the arms to go forward, or they'll push on the wind like this to go backwards, but that's the exact same. If we flip our body, we're essentially digging our heels in when we're head down, or we're trying to push with our feet when we're on our belly or something. So you want to try and not steer with this or this, but steer with the leading edge of the leg, so the feet, so the head up moving. And that's more for just stability, I guess. Any questions with any of that stuff, or you want to watch it again, or think you're on like a 10-minute call or something? No?
Yeah, it's a 10, just went on.
Yeah, cool. Let's go dive the next one. We'll do, this will be the last one, hey? So let's just do something nice and cruisy and all get together and do more turns and stuff like this rather than transitions and shit. Two.